Good evening, students. Now, today I'm going to teach you next chapter, that is banking. Under this, we are going to understand about commercial banks, the meaning and the functions of commercial bank, and meaning and functions of central bank. So, first of all, I'm going to start with commercial bank. Commercial banks. As commercial bank, this is the main unit of the Indian banking system. Like other business, these commercial banks are also established to earn profit by providing various services to their account holder, to their customer. So first of all, this is the introduction of this. Now I'm going to tell you the definition of commercial bank. Commercial bank, it is an institutions which is to be perform the function. It is an institution which perform the functions of accepting deposit and granting loan and also invest for earning profit. So if I am talking about commercial bank, that it is an institution which perform the function of accepting deposit from the account holder, from the customer, and also granting loan those who are needy to those borrower, and also invest whatever the deposit they have with the aim to earn profit. That is clear to everyone? Okay. Now I am going to tell you functions of commercial bank. So two functions is to be performed by commercial bank, that is first is primary function, that is the main function which is to be performed by, and secondary function also they have to perform. So these two functions, so first of all we are going to go with the primary function. Under primary function, what they are going to do, first they are accepting the function that is to be performed by commercial bank, that accepting deposit from account holder. So in that, whatever the saving that customer, that household are having, either they are going to invest in some profitable schemes, or they are going to, most of the person what they are doing, they are keeping their saving, the household they are keeping their saving with bank they accept these deposit in their account by providing various services like current account. In that's you know it very well, that we have studied in class 11th. Current account holder, they are depositing their amount and they are able to withdraw. They can get the facility for overdrafting. Against it, obviously they have to charge some interest to bank. Saving account, fixed deposit accounts that we have studied. So in that way, the bank is the commercial bank accepting their deposit. The first function that is to be performed by commercial bank, that is accepting deposit. Second, that is your granting loan or advancing loan. The another function that is to be performed by commercial bank, that is advancing loan. Under this function, as you know, whatever the deposit is to be deposited by the account holder of commercial banks, these deposits are not going to be keeping idle by the bank. By keeping some legal reserve, by keeping some fraction of that deposit as a legal reserve, rest amount will be utilized for advancing loan to the borrower or to the needy person, those who are needy of it. The facility which is to be, or the function which is to be provided by commercial bank for advancing loan, cash credits, it is to be, means banks, they are providing the loan against current assets like shares. By keeping shares, bonds, etc., they are providing loan to the borrower. Demand loan means that type of loan is to be considered as when bank is going to demand, the borrower have to pay back that loan amount to the bank. Short term loan, these are for short term period, for keeping some securities, and the borrower, they can raise the fund from bank. So these two facilities, the main two facility that is to be performed by commercial bank. Some secondary facility also there that is to be performed by bank, that is overdraft facility, that I have overdraft facility that is to be given by bank to their current account holder, that they can withdraw the amount over the amount which they are having in their account. They are providing locker facility. On behalf of bank, on behalf of customer, bank making payment and also receiving payment. Suppose on your behalf, the bank is making your payment. Suppose they are going to pay your online, paying your insurance amount, suppose loan amount, EMI amount, that is to be deducted automatically. It is to be deducted from your account, and it is to be done by bank. Locker facility is given by bank to keep your things, precious thing, in that locker. In income tax, they are providing some facility to you. Then they are providing letter of credit facility when you are going to enter in, which that is export import business, and so these are the secondary facility that is to be performed by your commercial bank. That is clear to everyone. Now I am going to tell you the next topic, and very important topic, that is money creation or credit creation. Money creation or credit creation. As most of the time these type of questions will come, the direct question will come in the question paper in the exam. So I am going to tell you some the most important topic to you people. That is first money creation. Before understanding it, we have to understanding this concept, money creation. As I have told you, whatever the deposit will come in the bank, it will not keep idle. It will not keep idle. It is to be utilized for advancing purpose. But and with the help of this process, and it is the process, money creation, it is the process through which commercial banks, they are creating money. That is clear. Through this, the commercial bank, they are able to generate money. So what is the process? To understand this process, we have go through with the two assumptions, and these are: first, all the banks, all the commercial banks are one unit, are one unit, are one unit. All the commercial banks are one unit. First fact. And second fact, that is all the transaction take place, any payment, any deposit will be take place in this bank, credit and debit in this unit only. So we are able to understand all the commercial bank are one unit, and all the transaction that is take place in the market, that is take place in this unit, that is take place in this unit. That is clear to everyone? Is there any confusion? All the receipt and payment that I am telling, that is transaction, okay, na? That take place in this unit only. Okay? Okay, now I am going to tell you the process. Suppose, as I have told you, whatever the deposit is to be there in the bank, held by the bank, they use for giving loan to the needy person. But the whole amount, the whole deposit is not going to be grant or utilized as for providing loan purpose. They have to keep some fraction of the total deposit, some percentage of total deposit in with RBI and with themselves for making day-to-day transactions. So they have to keep, after it's legally compulsory for every commercial bank that they have to keep some LRR, that is legal reserve ratio. Under that, cash reserve ratio and statutory liquidity ratio is to be there. After keeping that fraction, the remaining amount that can be utilized for what? That can be utilized for loan purpose. Now, suppose there is an initial deposit. There is an initial deposit. There is an initial deposit, that is deposit column, that is LRR, whatever the fraction we have to keep, the commercial bank have to keep, and that is a loan column. Okay, na? What amount? The initial deposits, for example, deposit, LRR or loan column. That is clear? Loan column. Okay. The initial deposit, suppose the initial deposit in the bank, that is 1000 rupees. And the RBI have decided the LRR, that is 20%. So after keeping this 20%, the rest amount can be utilized for what? For loan purpose. So 20% of 1000, that is 200. Whatever the amount is to be left, that is 800. 800 is to be provided as loan. This 800, whosoever take the loan, and one more thing, if the bank is providing loan to the person, first of all, the bank is going to open that person's, that household account in their bank, and then they are going to provide that loan, and the whole amount is not going to pay. They are going to pay in installment to that person. That is clear? So obviously when he is taking loan for making payment, so whatever the payment that I have told you, all the receipt and payment go through with this unit. So this 800 again it will come the first round. Then we will keep 20%, that is 160. Then 640 will be utilized as a loan. Then again it will come to bank. This unit 640 ka 10, that is your what 20%, that is 128. 2 ho jaye, 2 6 12, and the rest amount 512 will be utilized as a bank. Same as it is, it will be done. And this initial deposit become a total deposit, that is of 5000. This LRR become that is 1000, and this loan it become 4000. So with the initial deposit of 1000 rupees, the bank is able to generate how much in deposit? That is 5000. Is this from 1000 to 5000? As seen in the table, that you can see that how the bank is able to create the total deposit of rupees 5000 with initial deposit, that is 1000. It means total deposit become how many times of initial deposits? 5 times. 5 times of total deposit becomes 5 times of initial deposit. This 5 times is nothing, that is a money multiplier. That is money multiplier. That is nothing, that is money multiplier. Money multiplier means that make your it is the measure. Money multiplier is the measure that analyze the amount of money that the bank are able to create in the form of deposit with every unit of money by keeping its reserve also. Money multiplier, it means it is a deposit multiplier. It is a deposit multiplier, or we can say that this is a measure, the amount of money that bank are able to create in the form of deposit with every unit of money. हर unit के साथ what money they are going to create, that is considered as money multiplier. Money multiplier's formula is 1 upon LRR. Suppose that is how we will going to calculate money multiplier. What is LR value? That is 20%. If we are going to divide with, that is 0.20. So we will divide that money. What is money multiplier? Okay, we will multiply the initial deposit with money multiplier. We will get our total deposit. That is clear to everyone. So this is for today's topic. Okay, now the next topic, that is central bank and its functions, that we are going to discuss in this topic. First of all, I am talking about central bank. Central bank, it is the highest body, or we can say it is supreme body which regulate, control the activities of Indian banking system, or we can say that banking system is to be considered as central bank. It is a supreme body which regulate, control and operate the activities of banking system, that is to be considered as central bank. Every countries, they have their own central bank. If I am talking about our country India, in India, Reserve Bank of India, RBI, Reserve Bank of India, it is to be called as Central Bank of India. That is clear. RBI, it is established in 1935 with the RBI Act 1934. From 1st April 1935, the RBI was established. So this is the meaning of central bank. Now we are going to discuss the functions of central bank. Functions of central bank. Functions of central bank. In that, what we are going to discuss, first function, that is issuing currency. The first function, that is issuing currency. RBI or the central bank has the individual authority, a sole authority, sole rights to issue the currency in the economy. In our country, RBI has the rights, a sole right, a single rights, individual right to issuing the currencies, notes, except 1 rupees note and coins. It is to be, this 1 rupees note and coins, these are to be issued by Ministry of Finance. Finance Ministry is issued this coin, 1 rupee note and coin. But rest the currency which is circulated in the economy, it is to be issued by our RBI. What is the advantage of this sole authority that is got by RBI? First, that is uniformity in the circulation note, which notes are circulating in the market. Uniformity is there. If many persons are involved in that, this wrong process is going in the market. Duplication of currency will be occur most. Due to sole authority, RBI has the control on the money supply in the economy. So because of these reasons, these are the advantage of central bank have the sole authority for issuing currency. That is the first function. Now the second function, that is bankers of government. Bankers of government. If I am talking about this function, how RBI is performing the function as a banker of government, first it acts as a banker. By performing this function as a banker, it act as a banker. The RBI help the government in different issues, like for making payment on behalf of government, for making for receiving receipt on behalf of government, they can maintain the current account of the government to maintain cash balance in their account, in the government's account. So as a banker, this facility is to be provided by RBI to government. Second, as an agent. As an agent, RBI play an important role for maintaining public debt for government. Third, that is as a advisor. As an advisor, RBI, this suggests help the government in different monetary issues, different financial matter, economical matter. RBI will help the government. So this is the second function of RBI or central bank. Next, third, that is bankers bank. As the supreme body of Indian banking system, RBI play very important role for operating, regulating the activities of commercial bank and also supervise and guide them in their different matters, so they will work efficiently. what functions they are performing for bank, for commercial bank? First, custodian of cash reserve. As the every commercial bank, they have to keep some fraction of their total deposit with RBI. So whatever the deposit they are keeping, these commercial bank are keeping, RBI make it safe and custody of that cash reserve. Cash reserve. That is clear. Next, that is lender of last resort. Lender of last resort, it means when any commercial bank, they fail to arrange the fund, arrange the finance when they are facing any type of financial crisis, then lastly they will approach to central bank to get the loan, and central bank, they are providing loan to them for overcome from that situation which is to be faced by that commercial bank. Third function that is to be performed by RBI for commercial bank, that is clearing house. As we have discussed that every commercial bank, they have to keep their cash reserve with RBI. RBI, and for keeping that cash reserve, every commercial bank, they have their account in RBI. So it's very easy for the RBI for clearing the house. It means, for example, one bank A and B, these two banks are there and they both have account in RBI. Suppose SBI and Bank of Baroda. One person, he has drawn a check and he has an account in SBI, and the another to whom that he has drawn the check, that person account is in Bank of Baroda. So as both these banks, they have their account in RBI. So with the help of this, the RBI will debit the amount from SBI and credit into the Bank of Baroda account, and this commercial bank, they are going to credit that amount from in that account holder. That is clear to everyone. That is clearing house. Next function that is to be performed by RBI, that is controller of money supply or credit supply. As RBI has the sole authority to issuing currency, so they have also RBI is having rights to control the money supply in the economy. And how they are going to control? With the helping, by using their policy, they are able to control that money supply in the market. First, repo rate. Repo rate is the rate on which commercial bank, they borrow the money from central bank for a short period of time. By keeping their securities, they can borrow the money from central bank for short period of time. So at the time of inflation, and inflation is going, they are going to reduce that money supply. They are going to increase that repo rate. It increase as central bank is increasing its repo rate. It reduce the money supply in the commercial bank, and commercial bank, they can reduce to they are bound to get provide less loan to the general public. At the time of deflation, they are going to RBI is going to reduce that rate, so commercial bank, they are able to borrow more amount, and they will be having that amount, and it can be issued as a loan, utilized as a loan to the general public. Next, that is bank rate. Bank rate is the rate at which commercial bank they borrow the money for a long period of time. Same as it is for reducing the money supply, they are going to increase this bank rate. And for increasing the money supply in the market, they are going to reduce that bank rate. So it will handle the fluctuation in the economy. It will handle the inflation or deflation situation in the economy. Third, that is reserve repo rate. Reserve repo rate. Reserve repo rate is that in which central bank they borrow money from commercial bank. So at the time for reducing that money supply with the RBI or in the market in the economy, the RBI is going to reduce that repo rate. Increase that repo rate. So the firm is able to, means RBI is borrowing more money from them, and for earning more interest, commercial bank they are going to provide loan to central bank. At the time of when RBI want to increase the money supply in the economy, then what they do? They reduce that reverse repo rate. So the commercial bank, they will be having a sufficient amount and they will provide loan to the person. It will increase the money supply in the market. Next, that is open market operation. Open market operations. Open market operations. Open market, it is a market where securities of government are to be sale and purchased to the general public or to the commercial bank. So when the RBI, by saying the economic fluctuation, when RBI want to reduce the money supply in the market, they are going to sell the securities by providing attracting scheme to commercial bank. So commercial bank and public, they are going to purchase that securities from RBI on behalf of government, and it will reduce the money supply in the market. At the time when the RBI want to increase that money supply in the market in the economy, then they are going to purchase the securities from general public and from commercial bank. So it will increase the money supply in the market. That is clear. Next, that is legal reserve ratio. Under legal reserve ratio, 2 points are there. Cash reserve ratio, or we can say that the another one is statutory liquidity ratio. This is a legal reserve that central bank, they have to tell to every commercial bank that you have to keep that much percentage of your total deposit with RBI and with yourself for making the transactions. Now first of all, I am making you understand cash reserve ratio. Cash reserve ratio, under this central bank instruct the commercial bank, every commercial bank, to keep some fraction of your total deposit with RBI. So when they want to, so they have to keep of the total deposit with RBI, and rest amount they can utilize as for lending loan. So when the RBI want to reduce money supply in the market in economic fluctuation, especially in inflation period, then this cash reserve ratio is to be increased by RBI, that they will have they are going to keep, the commercial bank have to keep more as a cash reserve ratio and less with them for lending the amount. Statutory liquidity ratio, in that the central bank, they instruct to the commercial bank, every commercial bank, that they have to keep some percentage of their total deposit with themselves. for making day-to-day transactions. As you know, not all the people will come to borrow the money, to withdraw the money, and it's not necessary not 2 or 3% will come to borrow their money, and none of the person will come to withdraw the money. So for that, for meeting their day-to-day transactions, they have to keep with themselves this reserve. So at the time when they want to so both the things are clear. So at the time of when the RBI want to reduce the money supply in the market, they are going to increase this both the ratio, cash reserve ratio and SLR, CRR and SLR. The RBI is going to increase. When they want to increase the money supply in the market, then they are going to reduce these both the rates, so the money supply will be available in the economy, in the market. That is clear. Next, that is marginal requirement. Next function, that is marginal requirements. Marginal requirement. In that function, what RBI is playing role, that I am going to tell you. Marginal requirement is the requirement that what loan amount is to be there against the securities. Obviously, for borrowing the money from bank, we need to keep some securities. Our financial assets, our assets, land, building, papers, we have to keep with the banks. So same as it is for commercial bank also. So when they are at the time when they want to that is the difference between the loan amount and the assets amount. Because why they are keeping these assets? Suppose if the commercial bank is failed to repay that money, repay that loan amount, so the RBI will use these assets and on their money, get their money by selling it in the market. So suppose 1 lakh assets you have, so against it you will get 70,000, 80,000, 19,000. That is your loan amount. So the difference between it, that is called marginal requirement. So when the RBI want to reduce that money supply, they are going to decrease this margin requirement. For example, suppose earlier against 1 lakh, the assets you have to keep, that is of 1,50,000. When RBI reduce the money supply, they are going to reduce that. So against 1,50,000 amount of assets, you will get a loan that is 70,000. Obviously, the commercial bank, they hesitate to take loan as they have to keep more securities, more amount of securities against it, and against it they will get less amount as a loan. So it reduces the money supply in the market. Suppose now again, if that is the commercial central bank, the RBI, RBI want to increase the money supply in the market. How are they going to perform this with this function? That is, against 1 lakh, firstly they will again 150 lakh assets, they will get 1 lakh loan amount. Now against 150,000 assets amount, they will get 1,30,000 amount. So the commercial bank, they encourage to take more and more loan, and it will make available the money or provide a money supply in the economy, in the market. That is clear. So these are the things. Some two more function that is to be controller or tools that is to be used by RBI for controlling money supply, that is moral suasion. Moral suasion, it means at the time of economic fluctuation, first the RBI instruct to every commercial bank not to provide unnecessary for unproductive purpose loan to the general public. Firstly, they will instruct, if commercial bank are not following their instruction that is to be given, after that also they are providing loan, then they are going to giving warning letter, issuing notice to that commercial bank. After getting this notice and warning, if they are warning letter, they are not stopping, the commercial bank are not stopping to provide a loan, then they are going to seal that banks, those who are not following the instruction of RBI. That is clear. That is moral suspicion. One more, that is selective credit control. In that how RBI, by using that tool, they are going to control the money supply in the market. They instruct to each and every commercial bank to give loan for productive purpose, not for the unproductive, especially not provide loan for the speculation to the speculator. Means they are frankly they are going to tell to each and everyone clear cut, they are RBI is going to tell each and everyone that provide loan for productive purpose, for selective credit control, those who are needy of it, those who require of it, not for unproductive, or especially for speculation. You will not provide loan to the speculator. That is clear. The chapter have finished.